Action, episode 2. Hi YouTube. I'm going to do a second preamble. There seem to be a few notes that I needed to cover. Okay, so I'm just going to go through them. Licenses cover all printers, even private ones. So your home printer that you designed it at home, you printed it at home, and then you go to sell it. It's like, no, the licenses still cover those printers as well. A lot of people find that kind of unnerving, unsettling, or whatever, but that seems to be the way it is. Now, something that popped up in the main video, which is the one after this one, is can you upload the new design that you've come up with? You have to check licenses first again, because if you just upload your new design, you might find that it's not new and somebody else actually does already have it and has licensed it, and then if you upload it again, you could be in the position of being a pirate, and that's obviously what you really want to avoid. I've mentioned that I've lost things through to all sorts of things, and I've lost things from that as well, where I've spent a very long time designing something and calculating and figuring it all out, and then checking at the last minute like I do to... the reason I do that is I have a lot of hackers and spies on me, and I don't want everyone seeing the design I'm working on until I've finished designing it, and then I check for licenses, and then sometimes all that work is lost because it's already been done, and that's the price that I pay by using that technique to create stuff. So that's just how I roll, but you definitely have to check the licenses out before you upload, and I'll talk about how to check the licenses in the main video, which is the one after this one. Now, I've vetted a lot of websites very similar to Thingiverse, and I boiled it down to actually the final 52 websites in my list to see which website was better than another for whatever reason, the fees they charge, is it free to join, all these sorts of things. And at that time, Thingiverse came out in the number 1 position, and the reason that they really made it to the top was this ability to transfer a license. Now, people have said to me, I can't find that in the terms or whatever, and it's like, it's not in there. I didn't find these things out by waiting to hear about it or reading about it or any of that. I figured out these sorts of things and then asked. I actually asked, and that's how I found out, and so that's how I started doing it. Now, they've got some issues going on there, and I'm not going to go into depth about what they are. I'm in New Zealand, and there's certain things like PayPal.me does not work for us here, and so we can't receive tips or payments based on that payment system. So other websites like CG Trader, they have Payoneer, which actually does work for us, and it's a good site, and I'll talk more about that in the next video. I just wanted to... No, I'll skip that bit because we've sort of covered it. I was talking about how if you come up with something at home and design it, and you have to check licenses first, because if you were living under a rock sort of thing, and then you invented McDonald's, for example, and you'd never heard of McDonald's because you didn't know, it just really emphasises the point that you have to check licenses first to find out whether such a thing has actually already been licensed, and no, you shouldn't be uploading it because it's not going to be yours. And anyway, okay, I've covered that. So next thing I've got here is upload to multiple sites on the same day, because it does make it a lot easier if you do it all on the same day. Now, I do that as well, and that's to isolate me from things like sites going down or services not operating. So I'll just move straight on to the next thing. Oh yeah, and in the description, which I talk about in the next video, which is part of the how to upload, is make sure you put in the description that it is a 3D print file. Actually write that in the description, so you'll see that when you look at Tea Earl Grey Hot, which comes up in the next video. Okay, when selling the license, the person who purchases it from you, it's most likely that what you'll find is you'll have to re-upload they'll have to re-upload to the same site that they purchased that license from. So that's most likely, but it's not absolutely true, because there's the possibility and that you can actually upload it to another site if that site allows you to do that, and again with the license date matching, and how that's all done will be discussed in the next video. But I wanted to throw that in there as this preamble, because there were certain details that I felt like I hadn't really covered strongly. So yeah, it is possible that you could move a license to another site, and as long as that second site agrees that the first website's upload date to be true, and so as long as that all happens and you get permissions from everybody, you'll be all good. Now I just wanted to say that in New Zealand here, our version of eBay is called Trade Me, and it does have a $99 million listing. That's the top level, which I found out, and I have hit that, so I just wanted to mention that for those local in New Zealand. Thingiverse does not have a limit on the value of stuff that can be listed there, and I wanted to mention that as well, and that was another reason why they had come in at number one, because there wasn't a limit. And obviously I'd sold licenses with the license transfer at Thingiverse, as I mentioned in the next video, and yes, I have done that, and yes, I have used it, and it does actually exist. And I wanted to mention about CG Trader. They have a $10,000 limit per purchase, and so if something was worth more than that, then either the person would have to buy it multiple times at $10,000 to pay the full amount, or some other way to make the payment. But they take around a 8% commission, which is actually really good. I think you'll find that that's a very good commission rate at CG Trader. But you can talk to them at the support team there to discuss any other ideas that you've got, because the support there is very good. Now, when selling a license, I recommend that you actually upload a test thingy and use a test thing, because you don't want to have anything go wrong and lose your really good invention that you've come up with. So a test thingy like a chocolate something or whatever, because I've licensed chocolate, but it's like a Creative Commons one where I allow you to do whatever you want with it, so you can create a chocolate something original and then upload that, and then, or just your own upload test thingy. And that's about it. And so again, the disclaimer at the end, this information is as where is, use it at your own risk, and hopefully this is the last preamble to the actual video, and so thank you very much everyone. I'll see you in the next one.